Hello, everybody. How are you doing? And welcome to the show today, Saturday Night Live. And we have a very special guest, Yasmine El Baz. Yasmine, she's a international keynote speaker, and she has traveled all over the Arab world giving speeches, and she's also training in public speaking, a lot of big companies and a lot of executives. So please join me in welcoming Yasmine El Baz. Yasmine, how are you doing? So nice to meet you today.
Great. Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for inviting me, Ahmed. I'm glad to be part of the show.
It's my pleasure, and we were trying for some time to arrange that. I know because your schedule is busy, and thank you so much for coming in for us. And I hope it will be a great show with you, and it will bring a lot of value to people. We already have Diana coming from Ireland, sending her greetings from Ireland. Diana, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Greetings to you, Diana.
Yasmine, to start, I know you started in career in marketing, and then you switched to public speaking. And take us through the journey, and how did you find your passion in this?
Yes, actually, I used to work in marketing for more than 8 years, and I was so passionate about it. I'm still passionate about it. I used to love reading about it, gaining experience about marketing, and I do believe it had supported me in building my own personal brand and getting to know the awareness and how to do the proper marketing for my own brand. And in parallel to this, I was working as a public speaking trainer and coach. I was doing the two jobs parallel together. And I do believe that they are connected somehow, because when you are joining a public speaking opportunity, you are either marketing for yourself or marketing for a certain idea. So they are somehow connected. But then a certain period of time, I had a difficulty to cope with the two jobs, the full-time job and the freelance job. And I had difficulty to be able to accept more training opportunities and to travel abroad for international conferences. In addition to this, I felt like I'm more passionate about supporting people, supporting professionals on gaining the skills to express their ideas. That's why I felt like this is the career that I would love to continue pursuing. And I had that difficulty in coping with the two jobs. In addition to this, during that period, my mom was actually extremely sick. She was facing Alzheimer, and as you know, Alzheimer needs a specific type of care and attention.
That's true.
That's what, yes, that's why I felt like all the universe factors are pushing me to leave the full-time job and focus on my career in public speaking. That's why I took that decision. And actually, I had a good platform of clients and I had training opportunities waiting for me to accept. That's why I felt like this is the right decision. And when I look back, I feel like on a professional and personal level, that was one of my best decisions because it gave me enough time to focus on my career. And on a personal level, when I look back, I actually lost my mom in 2019. When I look back, I feel like I'm grateful that I was able to take that decision early enough because I would have been sitting over here regretting that I did not spend enough time with her. That's why, on a personal level, it was a good choice. And let me add to this also. When you look back, Ahmed, and when you look to your work or have a look on what you do, when you have that feeling that you are able to contribute to other people's lives in a way or another,
True.
this is a thing. You feel like you are grateful to have that opportunity. And I always ask people, how do you contribute to other people's lives? Because in public speaking, we could be contributing to other people's lives by building presentations or by transferring information. That's why when I get that opportunity, like for example, when I'm training or coaching individuals, it's not about me. I'm not the hero of the story. They are the heroes of their own stories. That's why I feel like I'm just a supportive system. So when I get that opportunity to push people to be an additional support to push them forward towards achieving their dreams, this is amazing. So when I look back to all the number of clients that I've worked with, the number of participants who have been attending my sessions, I feel so grateful that I was able to do this.
Of course, it's a great journey, and God bless your mom's soul. And it's a good decision, of course, that you took the decision early so that you can spend more time with her. So it's like you're saying, the universe pushed you to that, and God. And of course, it's great that you had platform of people. So when you shifted from marketing to public speaking, yeah, like you did not suffer. You managed, and of course, I understand you when you're saying like helping people. This is the best feeling in the world when you just help one person for to have confidence and to go and speak and to give him courage and all that. Of course, I understand where you're coming from. It's great. It's great. It's a great story, of course, to hear it from you. So, if we go to public speaking, what do you think, like from your experience? I know you have a lot of experience public speaking. What do you think are the key five traits for a good public speaker, or what do you think about it? What's your take about that?
First of all, you need to respect and appreciate the speaking opportunity, because I would understand a bit, or I would be, it's uncomfortable to look to a person who's boring speaker. Okay, we understand that not all people still have the capabilities to be able to be interesting, and it's somehow
Oh,
understandable. But it's insane to see a bored speaker. Like, if
yeah.
you are if you are bored of from your own content, how do you expect your audience will handle this situation? Are we waiting for our audience to give us reasons to be into our content? Of course not. So that's why you need to respect and appreciate the speaker opportunity. If you felt like you don't have any reasons to participate in that speaking opportunity, you don't feel passionate about it, then don't go. But once you accept that opportunity, you need to respect and appreciate it and exert enough effort to prepare content that is worth sharing. So I would say this is the first point. The second point, of course, to have knowledge and experience in your topic. Because I'm 100% sure that all the people who are following this interview will agree with us, and you will agree with me that when we are listening to speakers, we want people to have experience, knowledge about what they are delivering to us. I don't want to listen to a person who just Googled the information and they are sharing some pieces of information that they did not try before, that they do not have practical experience about it. Because I always say that the audience have all the right to argue your discussion, to argue your point of view. They have all the right to do so. So if you don't have the experience and knowledge in your topic, you will be in a challenging position, because when somebody challenges your theory or your point of view, and you'll not be able to reply their questions because you are sticking to some pieces of information that you've just discovered. But if you have the experience, if you have the knowledge, you will be able to come up with an answer, more creative answer, to customize the solutions based on your audience, and so on. That's why this is also a very important point that we need to do. Yes.
Yeah, I agree
And
with you. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
something else, Ahmed, is the power of expression. And when we hear the power of expression in public speaking, we assume it's about confidence, extreme confidence. It's about maintaining strong body language or moving a lot, while actually the power of expression is not about that. It's about your ability to express your content, to have that connection, that emotional connection with your content, so you will be able to express it. That's why the starting point is, whenever you prepare your content for your presentation or speech, you need to take a look at it and then ask yourself, do you have any feelings towards that content? Do you feel passionate about it? Are you excited to deliver that content? If your answers to these questions is no, 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 then you have prepared the wrong content. So the power of expression comes from your connection with the content, your connection with the idea that you are presenting, because we want people to stand in front of us who have strong belief about their ideas. This is where the power of expression comes from. And this is also how to be confident, because if you believe in your idea, if you are passionate about it, you will be able to be confident in front of your audience. Something else I would like also to add is the interaction with the audience.
Yeah.
Public speaking is not a monologue. Like, for example, we are now having a conversation, me and Ahmed.
Yes.
So really, public speaking is like that. Public speaking is always a dialogue. We actually we don't want to be seated in front of a speaker who we feel that he's talking to himself or just presenting some data as if he's just sharing a report. We want somebody to interact with us, to interact with our thoughts, to interact with our feelings. And how you can be able to achieve this by getting back also to your content and review it. If this is a dialogue, or just something that is stating facts, because your content should be a continuous dialogue, not necessarily with the need that the audience will reply to our content verbally. They can reply non-verbally, but the point is, you need your content to build your content to trigger their thoughts, to trigger their feelings. So the key element over here is the way you build your content. So the more your content is a discussion, it's a dialogue with your audience, the more you will be able to influence them, the more they will feel that they are a part of your presentation or of your speech. And adding to this, I would love to add the final thing from my point of view is to
Yeah.
express your, to be expressing your true self. Like,
Yeah.
why I'm sharing this, Ahmed, because actually, usually, all of us actually, when we have this idea of a great speaker, sometimes we have a certain image of a certain person. We have that person in mind who we perceive as a great speaker. That's why when we compare ourselves to that person, we feel like, okay, we're not good enough, we're not that great enough. But while in matter of fact, although public speaking has some certain rules or techniques in order to have that professional image, however, our objective is not to be copy paste from each other's. That's why my way of speaking shouldn't necessarily be like your way of speaking. And
True.
this is something essential. We don't have to speak like each other's, actually. Yes, we need to maintain the professional public speaking image. However, we have different personalities, different backgrounds, different perceptions, different values. That's why when you are standing in front of your audience, ask yourself how you are going to represent yourself, how you're going to present your values. This is essential. Once you accept the opportunity, once you stand in front of your audience, forget about that other speaker. Focus
Yes.
on yourself and focus on how you want to be perceived when they look at you and when they hear your presentation.
That's a great answer, Yasmin. I get like the points. If I may say, it's like passion, to be passionate about what you're talking about, to have to be informative and to understand what you're talking about, so that if someone asks you, you'll be able to answer. Also to be interactive with people and to have an engagement. It's not one way. And the final point, yeah, you were talking about like confidence and how that you present the authenticity and how you present yourself, and that's really a great answer, and a lot to take from that, really. So we'll go also the same when talking about public speaking. Did you get any time bullied or criticized during your speech, and how do you deal with it, and how do you give advice to someone who's starting his career in public speaking? If he faced this, what should he do, and what's your take also on that?
Let me tell you, Ahmed, that there wouldn't be a certain period in our life that we won't face bullies or people who attack us or people who are
Yeah.
being. It will always happen. And why I'm sharing this, because one of the most important things that we need to change in our perception about such situations is we tend to attack ourselves for feeling bad about such situations. Like, for example, when you face a bully or when you listen to a negative comment or something, and you feel bad and you feel hurt, and you tend to attack yourself as if you are weak, as if you shouldn't feel like that way. How we are not going to feel that way, while actually this is a very uncomfortable situation. You are dealing with disrespect. How are you going to feel fine about it? Definitely you will feel bad about it. So the first point that we need to pay attention to it is, please do not attack yourself for feeling bad about such situations. You will feel bad, you will feel pain, you will be in hurt because of this situation, and it is normal. This is the human nature. Yes, we will definitely be in uncomfortable situations to deal with such things. So the first thing is, stop attacking yourself, because this is normal. How you feel is completely normal. The second thing is, in all our life, we are seeking validation of other people. Like, for example, we are waiting people to say, good job, great, well done, so we can feel good about ourselves. We
True.
are waiting people to show us that they are interacting with our content, so we can feel that we are worthy appreciation and worthy of respect. Stop doing this. No, we shouldn't wait for other people's validation. We shouldn't be waiting for other people's validation to feel that we are worthy respect, worthy appreciation, or any of that. No. In public speaking, it is not about who you are, it's about what you are representing, what you are offering to your audience. So, yes, they have all the right to validate your content, not who you are. So, you need to change that mindset. Why I'm telling you this, Ahmed? Because when we face a bully, and or when we face somebody who's attacking us on a personal level, we tend to feel that maybe this is an indicator that we are not worthy appreciation, that we are not worthy respect. No. In such situations, all the negative indicators are not about you, they are about the other person. So
Yeah.
this situation is not a reflection of who you are, while actually it's a reflection of who is that person. You need to switch that mindset, because I always say, Ahmed, that in public speaking or in any situation, actually, it's not about what happens to you. It's how you perceive the situation and how you deal with it. So, definitely, when you face that situation, first of all, understand that it is okay to feel hurt, to feel uncomfortable. Number two, you need to understand that no, we are not waiting for other people validation. We are addressing some certain ideas, and this is the main idea, the main topic that we are talking and we are discussing. And something else that I see quite often is, when we receive a personal attack, we rush to defend ourselves. Like,
Yes.
let me give you an example. Like, for example, if somebody stopped you in the middle of a presentation and told you, I don't know why they brought you over here. I don't know if you have the skills, the experience, and they start
Yeah.
attacking us on a personal level. And we get shocked and we feel hurt. So we start defending our case. I have experience, I have knowledge. No, 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 and so on. No, what you need to do is to remove the personal part of their question, of their attack, and direct the conversation on the content. Like, for example,
Okay.
if
What you did not understand, for example, or try to
yeah,
ask him question about the content. Yeah.
yes, yes, direct
Yes.
the discussion to the content. Like, for example, tell the person that, let me understand from you more, which part of what I just addressed that you have other information about, other updates about. So this will make them more confused, and they will tend to find replies to your question. They will get back to talking about the content. And let me give you an additional trick in this also, Ahmed. You know, the bully usually is waiting for you to defend yourself. So
True.
when you are dealing, for example, yes, when you are dealing with, for example, let's not say a bully, let's say a pessimistic person. Sometimes
Yeah.
we call some audience pessimist. Like, for example, you are addressing a certain idea and you find a person from the audience. just
Yeah,
stops
tell
to
you,
tell
it
you,
will not work, or we tried it before, it did
yes,
not work, for example.
I promise you, it will not work.
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I've heard this million of times. So instead of starting to reply that person with why the solution will work for them, instead start asking that person questions. Like, for example, ask him or her, did you apply these techniques before? So they will usually say, yes, we did. Can you elaborate more on the situation that you did use those techniques before? Can you show us what was the type of the situation? How did you exactly apply these techniques? These questions will make them very confused and will make them think of to come up with a scenario, to come up with a situation because they didn't apply these techniques. So we'll give
Yeah.
back our
So
character.
you just turn the table on them, like we say, or
Yes,
you reverse the question.
exactly. And this is a very successful techniques. And I actually love questions in any
Yes.
communication. I love asking questions. And it's the great tool in any type of communication. And it's a great tool that you can use whenever you face a bully, whenever you face a pessimistic person or somebody is causing a disturbance amongst the audience.
That's a great technique, and all the chat actually, and the question, and how you're handling the discussion. It's amazing. I like the technique that you reverse the question, and because sometimes, like you're saying, people are just pessimistic. They want to stop the line of thought or something. So when you ask them, they will come back, and they will, maybe they did not apply. They're just pessimistic. They just want to close the subject, or they don't want to apply this technique that you are offering. Scott Ward is sending his regards also from Alabama, United States, and we have Nadal Hakel. He's sending his regards, and he's saying, "True, start public speaking with small steps, at small groups or events. One should wait for the bigger opportunity." So, Nadal, thank you for joining us. It's really, and we have Abdurrahman also, Abdurrahman Grada. Tomorrow I have a Q&A session, and that was really useful. So we are happy that what we're talking about is for help for you, Abdurrahman. Thank you for joining us.
Great, great.
Scott sending his regard for the show. Thank you so much, Scott, and you're always part of the show, and we're happy to have you always. Yasmine, we'll go about talking about how to gain confidence before like the speech. I know you went for a lot of public speaking and even international keynote speaker. How do you like? Do you feel fear like the first time you went for a speech, or every time, or with practice and repetition you feel confident all the time? And what's your if you want to give advice to people that they feel fear every time they are in front of the camera, what's your advice?
Let me tell you first, definitely, as I've been talking about this many, many times, that the fear of public speaking or the stress or anxiety that we feel when we are in the middle of a public speaking opportunity is completely normal. There is this, you know, stereotype about that. No, no, no. Actually, professionals don't face anxiety. They don't face stress. They are 100% confident about what they are going to deliver. Let me tell you something. As long as there is a human factor, there is nothing 100% guaranteed. You need to keep this in mind. No, because even if I've provided this training to the professionals from different countries, different backgrounds, still people are different. There was different personalities, different perceptions. So as long as you are dealing with a human factor, you cannot guarantee things 100%. But you can do other things. Like, for example, we hear this a lot that public speaking fear is normal. And we tend to tell ourselves, yes, I totally understand the public speaking fear is normal. I totally understand this. No, no, no. You shouldn't skip that step because this step is essential. Because the problem over here that when we feel stressed, we tend to perceive how we feel as a weakness point or as an indicator that we are not the right fit for public speaking. While actually, it's a part of the process. It's a part of the public speaking journey. You will always be stressed because, simply speaking, if I'm Today I'm having a certain type of a challenge. Tomorrow I'm going to accept more challenging opportunities. So the bar will be higher, the challenges will be higher. So I will always be stressed about it because when you are talking to other people, you need to be able to provide them with great value, with information that's useful. So this is a challenge that definitely can cause stress. So the first thing that you need to do is when you feel stressed, understand that you are not the only person. Like if you are sitting in a meeting and you look to all the people who are around you and you say to yourself, why am I the only one who's stressed? You're not the only one. Who are actually stressed. But maybe they are able to hide that stress or they are able to control it. That's why you cannot see it. First step, you need to accept the fact that your stress is normal. This is very important, and this is a step that you should not skip. Other techniques will not work if you skip this step.
Yeah.
The second thing, Ahmed, is to monitor your thoughts. Let me tell you how. When we are in the middle of a challenging situation, like we said, now we just agreed that the stress is normal. However, in some situations, that stress could be increased to a bigger level, to a higher level that you did not experience before. In such situations, you need to get back and ask and monitor your thoughts. What's happening over here? What's the new element? What is the new factor over here? Usually, we assume that there's something that has happened in the area around us, a new change or a new factor. For example, this is the factor that is causing stress. While actually, it's not about what happened. It's about our interpretation and our expectation for that change. Let me yes, let me give you an example, Ahmed. For example, if I am invited to provide a presentation to in my company and I'm going to deliver it in front of the employees who are in the junior level. For example,
Okay.
when I when I came early to before the presentation 30 minutes early, I found out that not only the junior level will attend, also the senior level. This is the fact. This is the reality. This is the change that happened. While in fact, the reason of the stress was not that. If you monitor your thoughts, you will find that you are telling yourself, "Oh my God, I will never be able to convince the senior level. I'm not going. I will not be able to adjust my content. I will not be able to do." So the reason behind your stress is your thoughts and interpretation for the situation. Once you figure out that these are the thoughts that were the trigger for your stress or anxiety, you need to do a one-to-one conversation with your brain. Like, for example, you tell yourself, stop over here. Just let us
Yeah.
wait, okay? Did we ever present in front of senior level before? Yes, we did. Am I familiar with all the factors relevant to my content? Yes, I am. So when you keep asking yourself those questions, you will find out that your interpretation and your expectation, negative expectation for the situation, is not correct. So it is essential to monitor our thoughts.
Yeah, that's great. Of course, great insights like the self-talk that you're talking about, and how you ask yourself questions. If you're facing this and put filters and say yes, 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 you will gain confidence. And because you gave this presentation before, like for example, to top management, but it's all about the mindset. Sometimes your mind wants to block you, or like protect you, but it's like a false alarm, like you're saying.
Yes, I totally definitely agree with you. And let me add to this. If usually I always say that the secret ingredient for great speakers is the rehearsal. That's why we need to understand that in order to boost our confidence, we need to rehearse our presentation. Usually, if we have like 10 days before our presentation, we spend 8 to 9 days on the preparation of the content and on the slides, and we spend like a day or half of a day on the rehearsal.
True. Yeah.
While 50 to 60% of your time should be dedicated to the rehearsals. So
Okay.
when you get in the mood of the rehearsal, when you have tried delivering that content one time and two times, and you have tried to express your content, you will be familiar with what you are trying to bring up to your audience. This will boost your confidence a lot.
I agree with you, and amazing tips and insights, Yasmin from Abu Fadl Slim. I agree with you. I'm really enjoying that, and really, Yasmin is an expert in that, and we are all enjoying that. And Reen Nadim, she's from Saudi Arabia, sending her regards. David Norman, saying that great, excellent said. I agree with David. Of course, it was very well given from Yasmin. Ahmed Khalid is sending great insights. So we have a lot of people coming in. We have a question. You're willing to take a question from one
Sorry,
of the
sorry, I
audience?
can.
We have a question from one of the audience. If you want to check. So best techniques to practice public speaking. In front of the mirror, in front of the family, or make a video and watch it after? This is a question. And please advise best practice to gain confidence. I think we touched upon that before you would actually speak in public. I believe this would be helpful to those in fence or procrastinating. I think it's a great question from Beth from Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us about the best way to practice in front of a mirror or family, or make a video and watch it after. And what do you use from these techniques?
Perfect. Thank you, Beth, for your question. It's an excellent question. Let me tell
Yeah,
you my view. Actually, I'm not against practicing in front of the mirror, but actually, it is not natural. Like, for example, if you're not smiling, you will force yourself to smile. Okay, I have to smile. I have to stand like this. No. The best thing that you need to do, first of all, you need to video record what you are doing. This is essential point. If you have the option that you can that you can invite your family members or a friend to attend the rehearsal, this is great also. But the first and most essential thing is to monitor what you are doing, because I usually say that there's something that we call the out of the body experience. Your sense to what you are doing is a bit different of what's happening in the reality. So you need to make
yeah,
sure that you are monitoring what you are doing. And I would love to add some couple of things in terms when you watch the video, you need to ask yourself some couple of questions. Like, for example, in terms of the body language, you need to ask yourself three questions. Am I expressing my content? This is the first question. The second question, do I look comfortable, or I look like I am forced to stand that way? Do I look natural, or I look like as if I'm acting? So you need to
yeah.
monitor the three in body language. Something else, if you are going to use any visual aids, please practice using those visual aids. Open your PowerPoint or the keynote and start talking as if you are presenting it for real, because sometimes people have this wrong assumption for the time duration that they will spend on each slide, while actually when they come in the real presentation, they find themselves spending more time on
More
some
time,
slides.
yes.
Yes. Something I would love also to add, that after you video record your presentation and you monitor everything that you see, isolate the video from the audio and listen to the audio alone. Why
Okay,
do we need
that's
Yes, why do we need to do this? Because there is something that's called McGurk effect. McGurk is telling us that usually the visual is covering the audio. So if you feel that you are doing a great job, "Ah, I'm doing a great job over here. I'm expressing in a
yeah.
great way." Okay. What about the way you express the words? What about the articulation? What about the letters? What about the vocabulary of that you are using? So you need to make sure that you are monitoring what you see and what you hear in a perfect way. So first of all, monitor everything that you see, then just listen to the audio alone and monitor how you speak. This is very important, because sometimes we are overwhelmed with the performance, and we found out that actually I have mispronounced some words on, or I've used the wrong terminologies or any of that.
That's a great answer, and I didn't know about this. Listening to the audio without the video. That's a great thing, of course, to listen without only listening and seeing if you're talking in the right way, using the right expressions. I like this answer a lot. Thank you, Yasmin. Mustafa Ibrahim is saying great as usual. Thank you, Mustafa, for joining us. Uh, Thank you so much, Mustafa. So, if we're talking about keynote speaking, and you've traveled, I know, to a lot of Arab countries and went on a lot of conferences versus like going on Zoom and trainings on Zoom. What's the key difference, and how do you prepare to this and that? And what's the key difference between them? And do you prefer like being in front of audience, interacting with audience, or like what you're doing now on StreamYard or on Zoom? What's your preference, and what's the difference in preparation between this and that?
I would say that you wouldn't find a person who's working in the training field who would tell you, I'm making an expectation. However, this is what I actually knew from all the people that's in my circle, that we usually prefer the offline setup. We love it. We love the
Really?
vibe, the direct interaction with the audience. It is overwhelming. So if I would
Yes.
prefer, the offline setup is stronger. However, there are some great privileges to the online setup. Like, for example, it saves time, it saves money. Now, people from different locations can attend the same event. People who have been facing a difficulty to attend some conferences or events because of the location, now they have access to this. People from different countries attend my training sessions. So this is great. So the challenge over here, that in the for speakers, usually in the offline setup, your biggest challenge is to handle the stress and the anxiety and everything, because somehow in the online setup things are a bit easier when it comes to the stress. You are less
Yes.
stressed because you're not in the same location. Yes,
You're more
people are,
comfortable.
they
Yes.
do not more comfortable. However, yes, there is stress, however, it's minimized. But your biggest challenge is to keep people engaged. This is a huge challenge
Yes.
you are facing. People who usually, that's why personally, when in my training sessions, there's a certain rule that we put and we send to all participants before the training. Your camera will be open all the training
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
this, because I wouldn't like to talk to a black screen. Actually,
Yes, it's very hard. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's really a
that's why,
challenge.
yes, it's a big challenge to keep people engaged, because at homes, in our homes, there are many many interruptions that could happen. That's why how to keep people focused, how to keep people engaged is a challenge over here. That's why I always say that when things get better, when we get back to be able to hold offline events, there should be actually the two options, the online and the offline, must be there, because some people will still have a difficulty to attend events or training, so the online option will be a better option for them. However, for me, I definitely love the offline setup much more.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Yasmin, and Ahmad Khalil saying that's wonderfully said, and thanks for all insights, Yasmin. Thank you, Ahmad, for joining us. And Yasmin, from all the, like, I know you traveled a lot and went for a lot of events and keynote speaker. Do you have like a favorite event that you went for and you felt that this is your, like, was your best performance?
Actually, I wouldn't like to say this, because usually I always tell myself I'm still working on my masterpiece, which I don't know how it will look like. Because usually when I imagine as if my eye for a certain speech is definitely difficult from regular people or people who are working in public speaking, actually. So definitely I would say I can do better. Yes, that was good, that had achieved many objectives. However, I can do better. That's why I wouldn't call the best, but I can say that there are some certain experiences that I have enjoyed the most. not just because of not just because of how I perform, but because of the vibes of the audience, because
Yeah,
of the vibes of the organizers. Because for me, I love professional organizers actually, and they contribute a lot to to how the conference or the event come out. That's why I usually, when it comes to people that I do business with, I make sure that I'm dealing and I'm cooperating with people who are professional, who are willing to work hard for the experience of the audience. That's why I would say that I truly enjoyed my event in Bahrain. I was the conference master in the ePay Summit. It was a fintech event, and I was the conference master. I loved the organizers.
great.
I love the vibes of the event, and of course there are plenty of events actually, and actually also my event in Tunisia, in Tunis. I loved
Yeah,
also the audience of entrepreneurs. I loved their interactions and their questions. They had great questions, and this is something actually that I enjoy the most. When you are providing training sessions for many years, actually, like you can have like 10 or 15 training sessions pass till you find a question that you did not face before. So whenever I listen to a question that it's my first time to listen to that question, or
really
I've never
excited
thought about
about.
it before, I get so excited because it adds to me. And I
Yes.
would definitely, I would say that you would agree with me because you have interviewed multiple great models,
Yeah,
great successful people over here. Meeting different people, getting to know about them is truly exciting, and it adds to us.
I agree. It's an amazing experience, and I never thought that when I started this program that it's enjoyable and it will be very enjoyable. I just like went for it, and I wanted to try going live. And when I got accepted live, I was lucky that I've got some people with big followers, and they are really experienced, and it's really amazing experience. I totally agree with you, and like you said, it's all about the atmosphere. If you want organizers who are really organized, and how they deal with the event, and this of course will make you feel more at ease when you are presenting, and when you are talking to people. That's great. That's a great answer. And Beth here is saying she's thanking you for the answer, and it's all the information she's saying that was very well explained. Thank you, Beth, so much for asking the question. I think it was a great question also. Yasmin, we can go for hours. Really, I enjoy my time with you, and you really put a lot of information and insights. It's amazing. Usually end this with what's your plans in 2021, and tell us about your plans and what you like to say to the audience and to your audience in 2021, and to people to give them advice.
Let me take the opportunity for to share something with all the people who are listening to this interview. As long as you're following this interview, then you are interested in public speaking. So I would love to tell
Yes,
you that, please, you have spent enough time thinking about what you are not capable of doing, what you are lacking. What about starting to think of what you are capable of doing and what you already have? Because I'm 100% sure that your personality, your experience have lots of great things that you just need to gain the skill to be able to express it. So let's today be the day that you focus on the positive things and the strong things that you already have. And as long as you are following this interview, then most probably some of you have been trying to enhance your public speaking skills, but you've stopped the journey because of a reason that is an internal factor and external factor. So let today be the day that you continue that journey, because I'm 100% sure that every person following this interview has a story to tell, or as actually the code that is behind me, a story to tell, an experience to share, or an idea that could be inspiring to the audience. I'm
that's true.
100% sure that you have this. So let today be the day that you continue that journey, because we, as the audience, we are truly eager to listen to what you have. Thank you, Ahmed, for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. It was a pleasure and an honor, really, and you brought a lot of really great information in, and we had a lot of interaction from people. So Liliana here is joining us at the end of the show. She's saying like very good, and thank you, Liliana, for joining us too, and thank you, Yasmine, and it was a great time, and I hope to see you soon, and I'm wishing you and your family a great 2021. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, all the audience who joined us, and we'll see you soon again. And think big and be inspired. Thank you all. Bye bye, Yasmine. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.